Make sure you sign up to join me at 1 o'clock as I lead a big roundtable of 500-pound heads. You can go to my Twitter feed, which is WizCheck6, or you can head to our Facebook page, and right here at the top I posted the link to our timing research at 1 o'clock here. So just go ahead and click on that link, and we're going to be joined by Barry Burns, Simon Klein, Neil Batho, and Jim Kenny, as well as myself, and I'll be leading them. Again, it's on my Twitter, WizCheck6, which you should be following anyway, and you should be on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/TopGunOptions. All right, let's get into it, folks. Pretty interesting. Every year the Department of Defense and all of our intelligence agencies, they come out with kind of a new, hey, here's our guiding precept, our 3 to 5 year strategy. And guess what? In our new strategy documents, China and Russia are now cited as competitors. If everybody remembers Barack Hussein Obama, it was actually down here in Boca over at Lynn University, one of the presidential debates against Mitt Romney, when he real kind of a jackass, turns to Romney and he goes, hey, the 80s or the 90s called and they want their foreign policy back. Russia ain't, our enemy or a threat. And then they remember the whole election, Russia and all this stuff. So, who looks like the idiot now? Former President Obama. So, and it really goes out of its way to say that we're going to stop apologizing for who we are. And thank God we're not. No more. There you go. Obviously, this will be on Fox, but no more apology tours, right? And it restores the term jihadist and as a terror threat to America, as if like not calling something what it is going to make them want to kill us less. I mean, just how stupid can you be? So finally, we're getting our groove back. This tax plan, folks, is still starting to trickle into the market and the mindset. I'm going to show you some intel reports from this morning about how this thing's already priced in. It's over with. Forget about it. Well, if you really believe that, do me a favor and step in front of this market and get short. I love the people that put the death of this market. It's greatly exaggerated, folks. I don't even think we've seen once. I mean, the market's been rallying on getting this done. Wait until you see what drops to the bottom line here, folks. Look at this. Does everybody remember the Obama holdovers? And even Ben Bernanke on Comedy Central like 3, 4, 5 months ago said, oh, Trump's saying 4% GDP, the guy's on crack. The New York Fed, which ain't exactly full of conservatives, raises the U.S. fourth quarter GDP growth to nearly 4%. Barack Hussein Obama never in 8 years had an annualized GDP of over 3%. But this is his rally, right? So again, big week as far as tax reform. Global stocks roar to a record high as tax reform it's priced in, right? All over again. And I love SocGen. SocGen came out, Societe Generale came out and said every bit of good news, including tax reform, is now priced in. All right, SocGen, then get short. Do me a favor and get short, and I will take the other side of that trade every day a week. Here's Goldman, baby. Goldman, who I love to hate, the Death Star, says tax reform is greatly going to benefit the big banks. Folks, we're long JP Morgan. Our Morgan Stanley positions, our Jan 18s that are rolling off the books right now are up $40,000, $50,000 in one trade, folks. A year and a half trade, up 50 grand. Raise your hand if you'd like that. So we have a lot of happy members getting to the end of the year here. Got to talk about our Raytheon trade. Don't ignore this. Look at this uptrend line. I covered this. I beat this dead horse last week. We got long to Jan 20 on Raytheon here. We've had 2 or 3 or 4 bull put spreads on Raytheon that are looking good. Ignore this. JP Morgan downgrades Raytheon. It didn't downgrade it, lowered it to neutral. Ignore that. Defense stocks could see very favorable lift from tax reform. So JP Morgan's been a little bit of a stick in the mud. Don't worry about that bull put spread we have on Raytheon. That thing's going to keep on printing money. Ignore it. That's dumb. I love this. Chasing the next Bitcoin, investors are shelling out $700 million for coins with no purpose. This kid who I don't even think he's old enough to shave. I get it, folks. Block.one is benefiting from a boom in initial coin offerings as he admits it has no purpose. Now, for those of you old enough to remember this, everybody remember pets.com and all that stuff? We're starting to get around a 1999 feel with all this coin stuff. Once you recognize that cryptocurrency, there's going to be thousands of them, Bitcoin is going to zero. The futures are already seeing a little bit of issues. It's the Wild West, folks. I don't do Wild West, folks. If you have an amount of money that you wouldn't mind putting on the living room table and lighting on fire and drinking champagne and enjoying watching it burn, that's the amount of money you should put into one of these things. Until it's established, just hang out, folks. Again, when I got my buddies who are bartenders and waiters and waitresses asking me how they can get into Bitcoin, and they can all assume, you know, that they've turned their $500 into a grand, that grand is safe. And I explained to them, I'm like, when things go bad, they're like, well, I'll just take my money out. I'm like, you won't be able to. And 15 minutes later, after explaining what a market is, I kind of get this look on a worried look on their face. Finally, tomorrow on the joint PLTB, remember weekly options is canceled for today. We're all gonna go over into the timing research session. CSX. This dude drops dead to Skipper. In my book, if you guys don't have a copy of my book, you really need to get a copy. I think I have a whole chapter on succession planning. These imperial CEOs crack me up because they think that they're never going to die. Nobody can replace me. Let's never talk about this. Folks, in the military, we know our skipper can die or get clipped on a combat mission. There has to be somebody to step up. So CSX might be I'm not a big transports guy. I used to trade FedEx for a while, obviously when I flew for them. But this is here's a potential entry point. So CSX had a nice run, big jump on some super earnings, nice little run up to here, and then it's imploded because there's no skipper. That's stupid. That tells you, and they were in the middle of a turnaround plan anyway. So we need to, but put this on your list. Your homework for tomorrow is to do some research on CSX, because we're going to talk about that tomorrow, because it's a little embarrassing that your skipper implodes and then you have you got nobody to step up. Finally, folks, Democrats against tax reform. I want you to remember this. No matter what your party affiliation is, even if you're a Republican, a Democrat, I'm a Libertarian, not one Democrat in the Senate has voted to give you some of your money back. Please remember that when you vote. Not one. Not even these red state or blue, blue, what red state Democrats. West Virginia, Manchin, Joe Manchin. Seriously, dude? It's that headline right there should tell you how you should vote for the rest of your life. Not one Democrat. All right, guys, I got to run. I got to do some show prep at 1 o'clock, and then we're going to get airborne. But good stuff going on. We're going to have an end-of-the-year debrief. Next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I'll send out an invite to that, not only for my members, but for everybody else who has sat here and watched these free videos daily and gone, you know what, I should probably get airborne and be trading options with Wiz and learn how to do this stuff. But look at this, man. We had a great year, epic year. 2016 was my best year in the entire history of me. 2017 blew that out of the water. It's time to get on board here, TGO. Okay, folks, I got to run. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see you at 1 o'clock.